Oh my gosh. Jay, it is so hot outside. How can you even think about feeding your trees or coming out here Labor Day weekend when it's so hot? The plants, they're just so hot and they're not going to want to absorb any food or any nutrients this weekend. It's just insane. Like, don't you want to wait till it cools down a little bit before you get out here and feed the trees for fall? I don't understand why you're out here on Labor Day when it's just so hot. The plants, they just can't absorb it. They just can't take it. All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's Jay again. So today we're going to talk a little bit about fall feeding and Labor Day weekend and why we feed at certain times of the year and not others, and why it's important to even feed here at this time or around this time real soon, guys, because I'm going to show you a couple plants around here. And I'm going to show you what, if you're a little bit more experienced and you've been here in the valley a lot longer and growing plants, you'll realize that this is just a critical weekend. So it has to do more with the timing. I mean, this is more of a transition period. So we're transitioning into fall, like whether or not you know it or think it. And I know it's extremely hot outside. I mean, we're still in the hundreds, but the days are getting shorter and the sun is a different pitch in the sky. So there are some shadowed areas and some cool down areas on some of these plants that would normally be cooking. So it is indeed cooling a little bit here in Phoenix. But why would we feed this weekend? It's just so crazy hot. Well, I know it is, guys, but it's kind of just hot for you. Like, it's really not hot for the plants. The plants they're used to it. They've been sitting outside for the last however many days, years. And so they're kind of used to the heat. But why is it critical to feed an extra water this weekend in particular? Well, that's because you're getting the fall flush. You're getting the last little bit of growth here from the summer fry. Okay, so let me give you a perfect example. I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to show you this, because if you're observing your trees, and you have been for a while, you're going to notice certain things. Well, I can guarantee you a lot of you in the valley that have starfruit trees, I can guarantee you a lot of them fried, and a lot of them got crispy, like this one here. You can see a lot of these branches are cooked, right? But the good part of the tree, the core, the inner part, and of course a lot of the leaves up in here, you can see a lot of these are still green. But what you'll notice is right now, this weekend, like literally today, is they're putting on their new flush because they just got fried. So if you'll notice, like on all your starfruit trees especially, this is a good indication, they're going to have all this new little growth on them, right? New little growths coming out, and what they're going to do is they're going to refill again after they've been burnt for the summer. Basically, they're going to put their canopy back on again. If you don't get back out here this weekend and at least water the thing, if you don't feed it, fine, that's a whole different subject. But if you'll at least water it, you're going to reflush this tree back out again, and this tree is going to be perfectly fine going into fall, and you're going to get fruit. But what's going to happen is a lot of people aren't going to go outside because it's still hot, and they're not going to water or feed these trees or even look to see if there's any new growth coming on to fix the tree. And so they'll lose the tree. The tree's going to die on them, and then they wonder why it cooked. And it was just a matter of basically getting out there this weekend and making sure that these plants are taken care of, because this is when they flush all their new growth. If you'll notice, every single plant is like that. If you go out to your yard, so like right behind me, pineapple guava, you'll notice he's got his new little flush of growth there. Needs a little bit of, needs to focus first of all, and then it needs a little bit of water because I need to perk up this new little growth. So even I need to get out here and water a little bit more. If we walk over to the mangoes and we look at the mangoes, all the mangoes are putting on their new flush of growth right now. So if you'll look at these, go out there and observe your mangoes, you'll notice that all of them have this brand new little flush of growth. Right there, right there. See all the new little growth coming on right here and right here. Now, the average person, like I said, is going to stay inside this weekend and not feed and water things because they think it's too hot. And they're going to miss this. So they're going to miss these new little growths coming on. And then probably that will die on off because they give you only one more chance, right? So if a tree defoliates and gets fried, loses all of its leaves, it's going to give you one chance. It's going to grow back with its new little leaves again. And if you don't take care of it during that time period and you lose that new little growth, it fizzles out, well, then the tree's gone. Okay, so it gives you basically that one more chance. Okay, but yeah, if you look at all these, all the mangoes, they've got all their new little growth this weekend. Okay, so it's a timing thing. It has nothing to do with the heat and when I can get out there. I mean, Labor Day gives you an extra day to kind of get out here and do this, but it's more about key timing on the actual plants themselves. Is they kind of pick this weekend to kind of regrow and reflush, and so that's why they need their food and water. The tropicals especially. Now the other fruit trees, let's talk about those. Well, loquats, look. So see all his new little growth coming on? It's this weekend. I don't have any control over that. It doesn't matter how hot it is, okay? So it goes by time. We're timing plants here. Now, we're also setting up our fall plants, or I'm sorry, our deciduous trees, so like our apricot trees that are gonna go dormant. Giving them the extra food and water right now is going to support the spurs and make the fruit better when it comes on again in the springtime, okay? A lot of people just get their fruit off these trees and then just regard the tree for the rest of the year, and then they expect good results for that next year, and that's not the way that these work. Look, citrus here, let's go down here. Look, citrus, new growth this weekend, see? So they will take advantage of that extra food and water. And if we had actual monsoons this year like we were supposed to, well, then you'd have that food down and it would all get watered in nicely. So now you're going to have to actually water the food in if you want it to kind of soak in, because you're going to have to represent the rains and the monsoons that we did not get. Those also add humidity. So guys, it comes down to timing. The plants time themselves. We feed this weekend because that's when the plants are doing something. So you actually have to get out and observe your yard to kind of realize that. I mean, you can wait till next weekend, but don't wait too much longer to feed your trees. I mean, constantly putting down compost around these trees. Of course, the dogs dig it up in this area, but I still put it down. I mean, that compost is pretty nice and thick under there. I mean, tons of life. Tons of stuff going on down in there, even in the middle of the summer. Worms. It's a sprightly one. So yeah, lots of activity going on in here. So you still have to keep the soil alive, guys. So it's a matter of food. I use compost to feed all these trees, and then mulch, nice mulch layer to cover your compost, keep everything nice and cool. And then timing. So that's why it is important to feed this weekend or real soon, is because of the timing of the plants, guys. It has nothing to do with us. So I know it's hot on you. Do it in the morning, do it in the evenings, and you'll have some beautiful green plants that are highly productive, like the ones that I have around here. All right, guys, so that's why we feed, and that's why we feed this weekend, or real close to. All right, guys, thank you for watching.